It's a weather alert day in West Michigan as heavy rain slams West Michigan this afternoon. Thanks for joining us on News Channel 3 Live at 5. I'm Princess Janae Steverson. The heavy rain in West Michigan is just a part of the story as more storms get ready to make their way through our area later tonight. Turning now to a live look over downtown Kalamazoo on this weather alert day. A wet afternoon in West Michigan and more is on the way. Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson is in the Weather Alert Center with a look at the forecast. Keith?
It has been an active day there, Princess, for sure. And, really, as we expected, we started with a lot of rain, not severe storms, but heavy rain. I don't think it was necessarily expected that we would get 2+ inches and create such flooding, but that potential was certainly there. A look at radar estimated rainfall right now, and you can see we've got some heavy duty stuff. Where you see those yellow patches is where rainfall of 1+ inches of rain that have come down. And so, for example, in the Kalamazoo area, the radar estimated rainfall at about 2.5 inches. You can see that swath of rain that stretches from really Berrien County right through Kalamazoo and Battle Creek and into Hastings and Lansing. Well, now that rain is starting to move off to the northeast. Things are fairly quiet right now on live Doppler radar. But in the wake of the heavy rain, we continue with a flood advisory. That still has an hour and a half to go. You can see where that is Van Buren, Kalamazoo, Berry, and much of Allegan County. Could be some flooding in some of those low-lying areas. We have seen that for sure, especially where there's poor drainage, and those creeks could continue to fill beyond the banks. Now that we're past the rain, of course, hopefully that will start to alleviate. We're looking at our severe weather outlook because even though our risk level has been diminished somewhat, it's been downgraded, much of our area now is at a slight risk level 2, not 3, although Sturgis right along the Michigan-Indiana line. You can see southern Branch County, southern St. Joe, southern Cass County still at an enhanced level. And now Holland, GR Ionia only at a marginal level. That's a sign that we're not out of the woods just yet. So we continue our storm coverage, team coverage with meteorologist Colin Rogers right now standing by in the studio. Colin?
Yeah, Keith, that greater threat for severe weather still off to our south, and that's where they're under a tornado watch. Portions of western Indiana into eastern Illinois, none in our area right now, but just off to our south, certainly under a tornado watch now. We're not out of the woods yet, though, especially along and south of I-94. I think that's where we have to keep an eye out for some thunderstorms that could turn severe. You'll notice these reds showing up on hour by hour. Here's a look at 7 o'clock. So really around 6:30, 7 o'clock, we'll start to see some storms forming in our southwestern counties. Those will move a little further off to the north and the east. Notice the focus right along and south of I-94. Those storms will move out of here by 9 o'clock, and then we dry up tonight. And by the time you're stepping out the door tomorrow morning, temperatures should be in the mid to upper 50s in most spots. So the greatest threat's going to be some strong winds if we do have any severe storms. And then we're also going to have to watch out for the potential for some more flooding. Any additional rain is going to aggravate those storm drains. Also, I'm not going to rule out a tornado or some large hail, but the primary threat is going to be those strong damaging winds. Keith will have much more in your forecast coming up in just a few.
And there's a good deal of flooding after all of the rain today. Right now, police are blocking off some of the roads to help keep people safe. News Channel 3's Autumn Pitcher is joining us live from Kalamazoo. And Autumn, you've seen more than a few people have to turn around there today.
Yeah, Princess, there's been a lot of confusion out here at Crosstown and Park because both of these streets are blocked off due to that flooding. You can see some people that are having to turn around, but I really want to set the scene for you. Take a look at this. This is a parking lot. You would never know because it looks more like a lake. We're right next to the Kalamazoo Covenant Academy. You can see a car that's really just floating in that water. But I also want to take you over this way because on Park, you can see that this road is blocked off due to that excessive flooding. And we're really zooming in so that you can see that right now. It's covering the road. And a lot of that is due to river overflow as well.
We would definitely recommend that folks do not drive through flooded streets. That can cause your vehicle to stall out, and that could also cause, severe damage to your vehicle. It could ruin your engine.
Now take a look at this video we shot earlier today. You can see some of that major flooding. Some drivers took their chances and went through the water. Like we said, not a good idea. And here you can see why. A driver actually got stuck on Cork Street and had to wait for help. Now Public Works is monitoring water levels and Kalamazoo Public Safety are closing off streets. But keep in mind there may be some areas that have not been barreled off. So just make sure to take it slow and be aware of your surroundings. Now the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Office gave us this list of roads currently impacted. 2 feet of water was reported on Croydon and Drake Road. Other flooding spots include Maple at Crosstown, South Westnedge at the bottom of the hill, Cork and Burdick, South Rose Street, and Forest. Now, if you run into a blocked road like this one right here, Baker does recommend that you turn around safely and take alternative routes. We will have a full list of streets that are impacted on our website that you can see that. That's www.mt.com. Live in Kalamazoo, Autumn Pitcher, News Channel 3.
This is a live look at the Consumers Energy outage map. It's a lot clearer than it was at the start of the week, but about 59,000 people who use Consumers still don't have power. Consumers says they're still trying to get the power back on. They were out this morning in the rain. Thunder and lightning made the drive into work a soaker early this morning, and the rain turned heavy at times this afternoon, slowing the process. Consumers says they have crews ready with more severe weather expected tonight.
So we have 831 crews, as well as nearly 100 line or service workers on our group. So 908 total line resources that are out working with us. We've got contractor crews from Michigan, Illinois, Ohio, and Indiana, and also have 246 forestry crews working on our system, working 24/7 to make sure that we're safely restoring power.
And tonight, residents in rural parts of West Michigan are feeling frustrated. They say they aren't being prioritized as Consumers Energy works to get power back up. Continuing our team coverage is News Channel 3's Carter Landis, who spoke with homeowners.
As Consumers Energy works to restore power to customers in Michigan, some in Sturgis say they're frustrated and worried that they're at the bottom of the list. Mary Federlich lives on Prairie River Lake with her husband and 1.5-year-old dog Molly. She stepped outside on her back porch on Sunday to watch the storm roll in.
It was the most bizarre storm I ever saw, to be honest with you. The winds were actually swirling over the water I've never seen before.
Shortly after, her power went out, and she's been without power since the severe storms tore through southwest Michigan.
Can't use the stove, can't use the microwave, can't make coffee, can't charge your phone, can't watch TV. Can't flush the toilet, you can't take a shower.
Federlich tells us whenever power goes out in her home, Sturgis often has to wait the longest to get it back. Consumers has made progress in restoring power to many customers across the state. The energy provider calls the storms across the state in the last few days some of the most unique in the company's history.
We have record crews on the system, and those crews will stay here until our customers are restored and life in Michigan is back to normal.
As of this afternoon, Consumers has reported just a little over 2,000 customers across the state without power, and nearly 97% of customers have it back. However, Federlich worries that as more storms are on the horizon, people in Sturgis have been put on the back burner.
At this point, now it's, we're just kind of, an afterthought, and I don't like being an afterthought.
Federlich says all she can do in the moment is sit and wait as more storms are expected to roll through West Michigan this evening. In Sturgis, Carter Landis, News Channel 3.
Today's storms are creating serious issues for people who were already cleaning up from the ones this weekend. We continue our team coverage with News Channel 3's Tyler Brummett, who's in Three Rivers tonight after speaking with the owner of a tire shop whose business suffered a lot of damage.
I first met Matt Boland Sunday night after severe weather moved through West Michigan. Look at the damage done to his business. You see right there, those windows were busted out Sunday night, and Boland tells me he's worried with another round of rain there could be even more damage to clean up.
We didn't miss, no downtime really. We had enough people helping us out Sunday night to get things to where we could open back up Monday morning.
It's been nearly 72 hours since a severe storm busted out windows at Boland's Best One Tire in Three Rivers. And fast forward, owner Matt Boland tells me Wednesday's storms are not making the recovery process any easier. He says there were precautions taken to protect the building.
We had a contractor come over and they put some plastic over the top of the OSB so that if we do get high winds and rain again, we can keep the down to a minimum how much water we get in here.
If you look around his shop, you can see signs of the damage left behind, water dripping from the roof, ceiling tiles missing, and wires hanging from the ceiling.
Well, I mean, if you just look at the debris that blew up against the wall up there, so that's all got to be fixed. In these individual little offices here, there's leaks where floor's wet in there.
And you'll remember after the storm roared through here Sunday night, several people stepped in to help out, including both workers and members of the community. So how's the recovery going? You'll hear what Boland told us earlier today, tonight on the news at 6. In Three Rivers, Tyler Brummett, News Channel 3.
And we've talked with a lot of people the past few days who are busy cleaning up their yards and businesses. Scan the QR code here on the side of your screen because we want to know, are you dealing with the storm damage right now? Currently, a majority of people say yes, they are. You can find this post on our Facebook page and our Instagram too. That's where you can see what other people are commenting. Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist will visit northern Michigan this weekend. He's expected to check out damage from the ice storms they got earlier this week. Governor Whitmer declared a state of emergency for 10 counties up north. He says, quote, "We are releasing every resource that is necessary to make sure that the local officials have what they need to keep people safe." He goes on to say the state emergency declaration is just a state of Michigan saying whatever you need, we will deliver. Earlier this week, we told you the Mackinac Bridge was closed because of ice falling from the cables and towers. Well, the bridge briefly opened before shutting down, reopened again, and is now closing down again. Crews say the bridge will reopen when conditions get better, but it's unclear when that'll happen. New at 5, a West Michigan school district briefly shelters in place after reports of pictures showing a student holding what appeared to be a gun. It happened earlier today at Plainwell High School. The district tells us pictures showed a student with a gun, which triggered the shelter in place. The Plainwell Department of Public Safety searched the student in the pictures and did not find any weapons on them or within their belongings. They then concluded the pictures were taken off campus and the gun in question was a BB pistol. After the investigation, police lifted the shelter in place. Tonight, police in Kent County are investigating after several Tesla vehicles are damaged. The Kentwood Police Department says it took a malicious destruction of property on March 10th in the 3100 block of Woodland Drive southeast. A total of 5 trucks had been spray painted while in the lot, causing extensive damage. Police are now searching for the people responsible. Take a look. Kentwood police are asking if anyone has any information on these suspects to contact them. You can also leave an anonymous tip through Silent Observer. In a developing story tonight, President Trump just wrapped up discussing sweeping new tariffs on all imports into the U.S. The tariffs are for at least 10% on practically all goods coming into the states. There's even a higher tariff on dozens of countries that have the highest trade deficits with the U.S. President Trump says it's about bringing prosperity to the U.S.
Our country and its taxpayers have been ripped off for more than 50 years, but it is not going to happen anymore. This is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in American history. It's our declaration of economic independence. For years, hardworking American citizens were forced to sit on the sidelines as other nations got rich and powerful, much of it at our expense. But now it's our turn to prosper.
The new policy represents a dramatic shift in global trade and economic policy, but experts say it could escalate an emerging global trade war and raise prices for American consumers. Today is day 6 of the trial for a West Michigan woman accused of murdering her husband in 2007. The tense moments from inside the courtroom.